TikTok, an app dedicated for short-form videos that are usually 10 to 30 seconds long. For a long time, it has been one of the most popular apps in the world. With an endless amount of content to consume, it is no surprise that so many influencers that we love and hate were born from TikTok. But what if these influencers are not what they seem? Hi guys, my name's Brian, and today we'll be talking about the dangerous world of TikTok killers. Ali Abulaban. Ali Abulaban, better known as Jin Kid, was a famous TikToker who was well known for his impersonations of Tony Montana and Skyrim.
Something going on?
He lived in San Diego with a beautiful wife and daughter. It seemed like he was living a dream. Money, fame, family, he had everything. But he ended up destroying everything with his own hands. In order to understand why a man who seemed like he had everything would go on a murderous rampage, we have to go back to the very beginning, even before he was TikTok famous. Ali was born in Staten Island to Palestinian parents. He was an aspiring entertainer from a very young age. At 14, he was a singer in a band before joining the military. He met his wife Anna during this time. They got married, and Ali took Anna back to his home state of Virginia, where they were expecting their baby girl, Ali Abulaban. Life in Virginia was great, and according to Ali, they were living the American dream. Ali, still wanting to be a star, he started making comedy skits and celebrity impersonations on TikTok, and it worked. On 2019, Ali got his first viral video and started to amass a big following. 255,000 on Instagram, 955,000 on TikTok, and 208,000 on his YouTube channel. Following the success, they moved to San Diego, California in February 2021. It's not sure whose idea it was to do so. Ali says that Anna wanted to move there because of her friends, but also at the same time, Ali wanted to be a famous actor, so moving to Hollywood seemed like an obvious choice. Everything seemed great. Ali was growing bigger on TikTok, and Anna seemed to be enjoying her time in San Diego. She would frequently post videos of her working out, enjoying spa dates with her friends, and nights out of town. But not long after, the first signs of trouble began to show. Anna's friends didn't like Ali. The fact that he carried a gun around everywhere he went, how controlling he was, how he talked over people, and always bragged about his accomplishments. And as time passed, Ali became more and more possessive over his wife and even became violent. He couldn't stand Anna hanging out with friends without him. The more her social life grew, the angrier and more paranoid he became. Ali's fans noticed how much weight he had lost and how much he was drinking. In one live stream, he was drinking right out of a bottle of red wine while driving. And on another, he was drunk and pulled out a bag of cocaine and started snorting it. And it got worse. His cousin explained when they went out in a bar, he threw a huge bag of cocaine on the table. The cousin was worried that they might get into trouble, to which Ali replied that no one can touch him. He could do whatever he wanted. He is Jin Kid. On October 2021, Anna told the police that Ali had pushed her, which caused some minor injuries. She told Ali to leave the apartment. Then she filed for a divorce and a restraining order. Ali, in denial, didn't stop calling her. He wanted to know where she was at all times. As he got more and more paranoid, he snuck into the apartment and installed a special app on his daughter's iPad. This app allowed Ali to listen in and spy on Anna. When Anna returned home, she brought a man called Rayburn Cadenas Barron with her. They were talking and giggling, but they didn't know that Ali was listening. In rage, Ali started heading to the apartment. The entire way he cursed and cried and prayed that Anna didn't have sex with the man till he got there. Once he got to the apartment, he saw Anna and Rayburn sitting on the couch. Immediately, he shot Rayburn 3 times, killing him. Then he turned to Anna and shot her in the head. After murdering 2 people, he drove to his daughter's school and picked her up. He was arrested shortly after, with his daughter still in the car. Despite all the evidence pointing at Ali, he says that he is innocent, that it wasn't him who did it. I've been doing research on these kinds of events for some time now, and this is one of the worst things that I've ever seen. Love that turned to obsession, hatred, anger. Yandere Freak, Snow the Salt Queen. On September 21st, 1988, Mary Ann Oliver Snow was born in Houston, Texas, United States. She was a TikTok star with over 1.6 million followers. She was most well known for cosplaying anime characters. I'm pretty sure that most of you know what cosplay is, but for those who don't know, it's basically a bunch of people dressing up as anime characters. So it's like Halloween in a way, but with anime. She was known in the cosplay community as Yandere Freak, Yandere Snow, or Snow the Salt Queen. Oh, and Yandere is a character who's loving and nurturing, but later on they turn possessive and controlling over their loved ones, and also violent. Aside from normal cosplays, Snow was notorious for several different reasons. One was making explicit content on her Patreon page. She posted sexual pictures of herself cosplaying as underage characters. And no, I won't be showing any pictures, you perverts, because that is just wrong, okay? Whether selling nude photos on the internet is good or bad is kind of debatable, but I think sexualizing underage characters is just wrong. I mean, you could cosplay as underage characters, I guess, but like, sexualizing it just doesn't seem right. Her lack of basic values seemed obvious, and it became more evident on September 2019. Snow and her companions went to West Hill Cemetery in Texas and filmed a music video, walking over and dancing on graves and tombstones while cosplaying. Snow had no respect nor remorse towards the dead. As the cosplay community showed their disgust towards Snow's actions, Snow claimed that they got permission from the cemetery to do the shoot, which of course was found to be a lie. The superintendent of the cemetery released an email denying the allegations. After the backlash, Snow mocked anyone who was upset about their actions on Instagram and TikTok.
You swung around a corner. Ah!
Snow apparently also had an alcohol and drug problem. People mentioned that Snow seemed to be drunk or high all the time. On January 17, 2021, Snow and her friends were drinking and smoking weed in Snow's house. While out in the garage, Snow found her ex-boyfriend's pistol and brought it back inside. They started to mess around with the gun, acting like Penguin from Batman. Drunk and high, one of Snow's friends asked her to shoot her with the gun. Snow responded by pointing it at her head before putting it down. Another friend named Helen asked her to do the same, but this time, Snow pulled the trigger, killing Helen. They were shocked. They called the police. Snow said they assumed the gun was empty. Her ex-boyfriend told her that he unloaded all the bullets, but they didn't know that there was a bullet in the chamber. This is the reason why you have to treat a gun like it's always loaded. It is not a toy, and someone who's drunk or high should never be holding on to a gun. Because of Snow's stupid actions, a life was lost. Snow was charged with manslaughter, but was released with a bond of $20,000 just 2 days later. 4 days after this incident, Snow, without a shred of remorse, returned to the platform. She acted like nothing happened and kept posting on TikTok, but her new videos were centered around death, as if she was making a joke of killing Helen.
Come on, Gromit, we've got to hide the body. There's no cheese and crackers in prison, Gromit. Now come on. Who will they believe? A man or his...
Will you help me hide a body?
Huh?
Thankfully, in August 2021, her bail was revoked due to her violating the conditions of her bond, which were failing to report to pretrial services, failing to comply with curfew requirements, and leaving the GPS tracker's battery to die for more than 4 hours. As people found out the truth about Helen's death, Snow deleted her TikTok and social media accounts in order to get away from the backlash. I tried to find out if she went to jail or not, but I couldn't find anything else about her after her deleting her social media accounts. But I really do hope that she gets the punishment that she deserves. And for Helen and her family, I wish them the best, and hopefully they could find peace in the future. Claire Miller, born in 2007 in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Claire Elena Miller was raised by loving parents Mark and Mary Miller. While she was a healthy child, her older sister Helen wasn't as lucky. Helen had cerebral palsy. It is a disorder that affects a person's ability to move and maintain balance and posture. So she spent most of her life in a wheelchair and needed frequent assistance. Both Miller and her older sister attended the private Lancaster Country Day School. After school, Miller mostly spent her days in her room, posting videos on TikTok. She didn't have a big following. She was just a normal teenage girl posting videos online. Most of these videos were harmless and showed Miller lip-singing to sad pop songs or dancing around her room. In others, her father made silly faces and played the guitar. But some of the other videos were very disturbing to watch. Still, they were just a normal happy family, or so it seemed. It was a normal Sunday evening when the Miller family went to bed. Claire Miller grabbed a knife from the kitchen and crept into Helen's room. Without any hesitation, she stabbed Helen in the neck several times before placing a pillow over her face. She then called 911 and told the emergency dispatcher,
I stabbed my sister.
The police arrived within 5 minutes and saw Claire with her clothes drenched in blood. The police went into Helen's room and removed the pillow from her face. They saw Helen, bloody with a knife sticking out of her neck. They tried to resuscitate her, but it was too late. She was pronounced dead at 4:13 a.m. It's unclear how long Claire planned to murder her sister, if at all. But she will be tried as an adult because the state of Pennsylvania doesn't consider murder a delinquent crime. I can't even imagine the pain and suffering that the parents went through because of this incident. They lost both of their daughters in a way that no parent should have. Okay, these last two people in the list weren't technically TikTok famous, but they did get TikTok famous after the incident. Isabella Guzman. Isabella Guzman was born in June 1st, 1995. She lived in Aurora, Colorado. Her mother was Yunmi Hoy, and her father was Robert Guzman. Her parents got divorced when she turned 5, but her mom stayed in good terms with her dad. Her dad found a new apartment not too far away and still shared the business with Yunmi. It seemed like they both wanted to be there for Isabella. According to some research, Isabella was petulant and entitled. Even though they both worked very hard to provide for their daughter, Isabella's personality only got worse when her mother found a new lover named Ryan Hoy. She felt like her mom betrayed her and never loved her father. This resulted in Isabella always arguing with her mother. It got so bad that they just couldn't live together. So when Isabella turned 7, she moved in with her father. She was a different person with her father. She was kind, loving, and caring. She did much better living with her father and seemed to have calmed down. So they decided that she would live with her mother again. This is something I don't really understand. If she was happy with her dad, why did she have to move back with her mom? Like, they knew that she didn't do well with her mom. Why bring her back? It's something I really just don't understand. But for sure there were some personal issues within it, but it's just sad. But things got really bad on 2013. Isabella and Yunmi had a big argument, but this time Isabella got violent, so Yunmi punished her. And that very night, she sent a threatening email saying, "You will pay." On that night, Ryan was watching TV while Yunmi was taking a shower when he heard his wife scream. Ryan ran up to the bathroom, but the door was locked. Terrified, he called the police, and Yunmi kept screaming and screaming until it stopped. He heard a scream, "Jehovah!" and a sound of a metal falling to the ground, and the door opened. In front of him was Isabella, covered in blood with lifeless eyes. She stared at Ryan and just walked out of the house. Ryan ran to Yunmi, but all he could do was hold her lifeless, cold body. She was stabbed 79 times in the head, neck, and torso. Soon after, Isabella was arrested and was charged with first-degree murder and was facing the death penalty. But Isabella was found innocent, not 100%, but she was assessed by a doctor that found her to be schizophrenic. According to the doctor, Isabella didn't believe that she was killing her mom, but someone named Cecilia, in order to save the world. This reason allowed her to plead innocence in reason of insanity. The court accepted her plea and was sent to a psychiatric hospital for treatment. But this is, in my opinion, the weirdest part of the story. 7 years later, the video of her acting erratically on the court resurfaced on the internet, especially on TikTok. It became a trend and people started to take clips of her behavior with the song Sweet But Psycho. People made it seem like her actions were justifiable just because she was pretty. The fact that there are people who think that her actions are justified just because she looks a bit pretty is disgusting. She took the life of her own mother in the most morbid way possible. There's nothing that could excuse her from that. Our last story brings us to Tampa Bay in Florida. This was the home of Cameron Herron, a regular 18-year-old just getting ready to go to university. It was also the home to Jessica, David, and their baby Lilia. They just moved in to start a family. Warm weather, affordable houses, and most importantly, peaceful neighborhoods. It seemed perfect until May 23rd, 2018, because on that day, Cameron and John Baranuo were racing in Bayshore Boulevard, going over 100 miles per hour. You see, Cameron just got a new Ford Mustang as a gift from his parents, and all he wanted to do was drive it. They have been racing for the past few days, recklessly racing on busy roads with pedestrian crossings. On May 23rd, 2018, after walking around the park, Jessica and Lilia headed home. They were crossing the road when they heard a roaring engine. Then Cameron crashed into Jessica and Lilia. instantly killing them. When David heard the news, he was devastated. His family was gone, all because of a reckless teenage boy. Soon, Cameron was arrested, charged with vehicular homicide. But even though it was clear that Cameron was responsible for the death of Jessica and baby Lilia, the trials weren't easy. Cameron's family did everything they could to help him, and the judge kept delaying the verdict. But David had enough. He wanted it to end. He urged the judge to speed up the process. He also stated that Cameron has no remorse, and that he is privileged, that he must go to prison and feel the responsibility of his actions.
You've shown zero remorse. The truth behind this is that you are privileged. You killed a mother and a daughter. You did.
Cameron's defense attorney wanted to paint a different picture. A picture of an innocent 18-year-old boy whose brain hasn't developed.
The frontal lobe, where we stop and think about our action, is not developed.
Cameron's family kept describing the murder as a tragic accident. Also that it has been a devastating experience for Cameron, just as it has been for David. But it isn't really the same, is it? Of course Cameron must have suffered. He didn't intend to kill anyone. His life will never be the same, but it is because of his reckless actions that he chose, unlike David, who had no control over the death of his family. But thankfully, the judge knew this very well when he gave the verdict.
Sentence him to 9 years in Florida State Prison. On count 2, same charge. Court will adjudicate the defendant guilty, sentence him to 15 years Florida State Prison, and that'll run consecutive to count 1.
Cameron's eyes says everything. He didn't expect the sentencing. 24 years in prison. David thought it was a just sentencing and that it will help other younger kids be more cautious when driving. However, the internet didn't agree. You see, Cameron soon became viral on TikTok. People wanted justice for him just because he had a pretty face. TikTokers worldwide posted videos of Cameron with hashtags like Justice for Cameron Herron, Free Cameron. Soon, this trend got viral not only on TikTok but also Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Most of the people who posted were young girls who thought Cameron's face was just too cute to be in prison for 24 years. I just really don't understand how people could link looks to a crime. How can looks even be a reason to justify a person's action? If someone good looking is trying to kill you, will you say, "Oh my goodness, it's okay for him to kill me, he's handsome"? That's just stupid, it doesn't make sense. Anyway guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you want to know about the dangerous world of Roblox predators, click here.